You probably didn't notice any of these before, but from way up here, they're crystal clear. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Aladdin Easter eggs. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at references hidden throughout this 1992 animated feature. Number 10. Cinderella. Fans like to think that every Disney movie is connected, especially when it comes to royalty. While the city of Agrabah is probably miles away from Cinderella's kingdom, this Easter egg provides an unlikely link between the two fairy tales. In the Sultan's toy room, you can spot a horse and carriage. Although the carriage isn't an exact replica of Cinderella's, it does have a certain je ne sais quoi that screams bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. On the other side of the room, there appears to be a doll concealed under a curtain. It's difficult to make out, but the doll's blue dress has a fair deal in common with Cinderella's. Well, if the glass slipper fits. Number 9. Why the caged Jasmine sings. Sometimes the subtlest visuals can sum up a character's internal desires and struggles. Princess Jasmine's palace is more like a prison, and the idea of marrying a suitor she doesn't love ultimately motivates her to leave. Before Jasmine escapes to the streets of Agrabah, though, she releases a flock of white birds from a cage. This is obviously symbolic of Jasmine's dream to fly away and be free. But did you ever notice another detail that gives the scene even more weight? Later, when Jasmine returns to the palace, we see that the pattern around her bedroom door matches the design of the bird cage.
I just want to make sure you're taken care of, provided for.
Please try to understand. I've never done a thing on my own.
Number 8. Temple of Zeus. During A Whole New World, Aladdin and Jasmine take a magic carpet ride over some exotic locales. They even go the distance and fly past the Temple of Zeus. Part of what makes this so interesting is that directors Ron Clements and John Musker would follow up the success of Aladdin with Disney's Hercules, which hit theaters 5 years later. Whether you view this as a happy coincidence or ingenious foreshadowing, the Temple ultimately bridges together these two films, both of which focus on protagonists who go from zero to hero. It's even cooler when you take into consideration the crossover Hercules and Aladdin had on the small screen. It really is a small world after all.
Hercules! It takes a lot of nerve to kidnap someone's best friend.
Nobody knows that better than you, Aladdin!
Number 7. Raiders of the Lost Ark references. Aladdin and Indiana Jones are two peas in a pod, one with their mutual thirst for adventure and talent for getting out of sticky situations.
Trouble? No way. You're only in trouble if you get caught.
Gotcha!
I'm in trouble.
Both are also accompanied by monkeys with the voice of Frank Welker. The most blatant parallel between Aladdin and the Indiana Jones films occurs during the Cave of Wonders sequence. As Aladdin locates the magic lamp, one can't help but recall the golden idol Indy retrieved in Raiders of the Lost Ark. The ensuing race out of the collapsing cave is also in the spirit of Indy's daring escape. The filmmakers actually apologized to Steven Spielberg, but he didn't mind since Raiders was already an homage to other adventure movies. Number 6. Director cameos. In many movies directed by Ron Clements and John Musker, you can briefly spot a pair of extras who share a likeness with the two directors. In Aladdin, Ron and John make cameos as Prince Ahmed arrives at the Sultan's palace.
On his way to the palace, I suppose. Another suitor for the princess.
Each character delivers a line of expositional dialogue and contributes little else to the movie. While it may not seem like much at first, the scene is a lot more amusing when you reflect on how one character possesses Ron's bushy beard and short physique, while the other has John's gray mustache and slim body. Number 5. Hidden Mickeys. If you freeze frame at just the right moment, you'll find a couple of hidden Mickeys throughout Aladdin. The most eye-popping set of mouse ears can be seen after Jafar is defeated, and Raja morphs from a harmless kitty back into a full-size tiger. In the midst of his transformation, Raja even shares many of Mickey's facial features, from his wide eyes to his round nose. Kind of ironic seeing how a fearsome cat like Raja would be inclined to eat mice. Number 4. The Beast. Disney animation could do little wrong in the early 90s, with Beauty and the Beast breaking new grounds in 1991 and Aladdin coming out a year later. The Beast actually makes a cameo in Aladdin, although trying to point him out is like skimming through a Where's Waldo book. As the Sultan stacks up several of his figurines, a toy modeled after the Beast is visible towards the top of the tower. Just as the Beast turned out to be more than what he seemed, this Easter egg is truly a diamond in the rough. Number 3. The many voices of Robin Williams. The genie possesses phenomenal cosmic powers, including the ability to impersonate pretty much anyone.
Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here?
The filmmakers took full advantage of Robin Williams' knacks for improvisation and impressions, allowing him to channel everybody from Arnold Schwarzenegger, to Jack Nicholson, to Robert De Niro, to Rodney Dangerfield, to Peter Lorre, to Jerry Lewis, to Groucho Marx, to Arsenio Hall, to William F. Buckley Jr., to Ed Sullivan.
Right here, direct from the lamp, right here for your very much wish fulfillment. Thank you.
Whoa.
That's quite a list. While we all know Williams voiced the shape-shifting genie, fewer people realize that he also voiced the peddler from the film's opening.
Welcome to Agrabah, city of mystery, of enchantment. The finest merchandise this time I've ever done, on sale today. Come on down.
The genie and the peddler were originally meant to be one and the same, although this reveal was cut from the finished film. Number 2. Sebastian the Crab. This is one of the easier Easter eggs to spot.
Chicken a la king? No, yeah, that's King Crab. I hate it when they do that. Caesar salad. At du brute? Nope. Aha.
But that doesn't make it any less awesome. While reading through a cookbook of royal recipes, the genie's finger gets snapped by a red crab we all recognize. It's none other than Sebastian from The Little Mermaid, which Ron Clements and John Musker directed 3 years before Aladdin.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
You can even hear a short instrumental snippet of Under the Sea during the crab's cameo. This isn't the only time the genie directly references another Disney movie, as he also mimics Pinocchio's elongated nose.
I'll do it. I'll set you free.
Yeah, right.
A fitting comparison since both Aladdin and Pinocchio often have trouble telling the truth. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. Back to Neverland. After Aladdin sets him free, Genie sets out to see the world. It's safe to assume he's headed for a Disney theme park, seeing how he's wearing a goofy cap.
I'm out of here! Bye-bye, you two crazy lovebirds!
While the Genie's tourist outfit is amusing in itself, it's even funnier if you've seen the short film Back to Neverland at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Directed by Jerry Reese of The Brave Little Toaster, this attraction provided a behind-the-scenes look at Disney animation.
In order to demonstrate the animation process, we're going to turn you into an animated character.
Does this mean I'm only gonna have 3 fingers?
It starred anchorman Walter Cronkite and Robin Williams, who wears a getup identical to the Genie's at the end of Aladdin. And to think, this short was released 3 years before Aladdin, and just 2 years before Williams played Peter Pan in Hook. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.